Hey guys, welcome back to Rail Chief 74 today here on the channel, and most importantly, welcome back to layout update number 23. Now, considering that it's so hot outside and the humidity is so strong outdoors, I feel like that the best way to spend our time indoors for today's episode is to share with you all some of the progress that I made on both the layouts behind me here. And I have two new additional items to not only the layout but the train room itself. One being a lighted up sign in the back of my head here, which I'll get back to a little bit later, as well as a very special surprise upgrade to the second layout behind me here. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm really eager and excited to show you all regardless. And it's really something that you guys have considered me to do on the channel here for quite some time. So as always, let's not waste any more time in getting on with the show here. So sit back and relax, and I hope you guys will enjoy. All right, so starting off with our first item that we're going to be talking about in today's episode. This is the Lionel 6-2162 crossing gate that was introduced around 1977 or so. It was basically a reintroduction to the 262 gate that was released by Lionel in 1962. Now with this one, you might have noticed in some of my past videos or live streams that the gate hasn't been going up and down a whole lot lately, and only the lights have been going on automatically once the train enters the insulated black section here. Well, that's because that the coil inside of the mechanism has burned out, and what I'm going to do is to replace the coil with a brand new one. Thankfully, I managed to pick a couple of these up at York last year, so I knew that these were really going to come in handy. So that shouldn't take me more than 15 to 20 minutes to work on the actual signal. But in the meantime, the only thing that you're going to see from the signal that operates is the lights. Of course, they won't blink like they did originally, the way I modified the inside of the coil. But as long as they light up, that's all I'm happy with. So in the meantime, the gate, unfortunately, is going to have to stay in the downward position. Next up over here on the other side of the track where the crossing signal is located, we have the DeLorean on display right in front of the barn, which is a tribute to the first Back to the Future movie where Marty McFly crashes into 1945. Oh, 1945, listen to me. When he crashes into 1955 when he has to go save Doc Brown. And right across from the track here, we have the Plasticville Pond here. Now, initially, I had no idea what the hell I wanted to do with this area as far as scenery goes. But when I placed the park over here, the more that I looked at it, the more that I realized that it blended into the scenery very nicely. And I also decided to add some additional figures and bushes here as well. All the bushes and rocks that you see all around the park are from Woodland Scenics. We even had some flamingos and some swans in the water here. We got some flowers. We even have a father and a son playing softball together in the park. These two figures are, of course, made by Lionel, so they're both made of metal. And as a bonus, the water that you see inside of the pond here, I'm not sure if I explained this to you guys before, but these are basically just mirrors that have been cut out and customized to fit inside of the base of the pond area. Now, this next part of the layout here is something that I know that you all are going to be very excited to hear about, and it's definitely the moment that you all have been waiting for. And after listening to some of the comments in the comment sections, whether I do like a running session or a live stream, I've been really starting to agree with you guys lately that seeing the trolley on the bridge over here is nice, just watching it go back and forth, but just having it on that really short line on the bridge section, it gets very boring quite quickly. So I've decided to add two additional curved tracks to the top part of the layout, along with a additional straight section, and then I'm going to add the light up bumper at the end here. And then on the other end of the bridge, there's going to be a curved section, and there's also going to be a bumper on that end as well. And I'm also going to be constructing my own customizable O-gauge bridge for the top part here. Right now, I just have everything placed on top of a cardboard cutout that I have for the meantime, just to give a general idea on how I want the bridge to look. And I also have the track sitting up on top of these generic looking plastic coffee cups. So don't mind them. That's only just temporary until I get a better idea on how I want the bridge to look. And I'm also going to make some risers for the bridge as well, so that way they don't interfere with the buildings behind here or interfere with the work area where I have the factory. And if anybody has any other ideas or suggestions on how I can improve this area of the layout, make sure to let me know in the comments section below. Once again, feedback is always very important for the channel here, and I greatly appreciate you guys letting me know what I should do next as far as these layout updates go. Now, right before we move on to the main layout here, I do want to share with you guys that sign that I was kind of showing you all a little bit earlier before once we started the video. Now, this was actually a Christmas present that I got last year from my brother and his girlfriend. And this is actually a really cool sign. Not only does it light up on the back, but it also does have multiple different colored lights once you activate or plug it into the outlet, and all you just need to do is press a single button, and therefore the lights will change color. And keeping it to the wall here, I just basically have some Velcro and some adhesive on the back, so that way it sticks to the wall without falling off or anything. At least I hope it doesn't fall off. And as for the excess wire, I snuck it behind the backdrop here, so that way it's not visible to the rest of the layout and it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. And as for the LED lights, I will be happy to share with you all that in action once we go ahead and wrap up the video. So let's go ahead and move on to our next part of the layout tour. Now, right over here in the center of the layout where we have the town area, lo and behold, we now have illumination to the inside of a few of the buildings here. Now, I do need to hook up this building here, but that's going to be a separate project at another date. But these two houses right here that are lit up are both connected together because the MTH buildings, even though they're pre-wired, you still need to hook them up to like a power source. And so I went ahead and tied both of the wires to each other by connecting both the positive wires together and the negative wires together. And then just using two other color-coded wires underneath, I hooked them up to the bottom part of the table just by using some wire knots and some splice lines, as you call them, which are little connections, which are push-in wire connectors. I was able to get the lighting inside the buildings just right. And right off the bat, you can tell that the one light in the center of this house here is much dimmer than the one on the right side. But like I said, as long as they're both lit up, that's all I'm happy with. And I really can't wait to show you guys what these houses really look like in action when we have the lights turned off in the train room. Now, next up over here, right quickly, where we have the control panel, we have the main source of power to the entire layout, which needs no introduction. This is my dad's all-original Lionel post-war ZW transformer that he had growing up, and I've always done my best to clean and maintain the ZW over the past couple of years that I've had it. And I've noticed quite recently with this one, the circuit breaker in the back here has been constantly going off every 30 to 45 minutes whenever I would do like a running session or a live stream. So my intention is to work on the ZW during the week and open up the hatch so that way I can go inside and replace the old circuit breaker with this brand new circuit breaker that I got from the C&D train repair. And right up the top here, we have the part number, and we also do have the product number for which transformer this circuit breaker is supposed to go with. So at some point during the week, I'm going to have to open up the ZW and try to replace the old circuit breaker with this one. And now finally over here, this part of the train room has nothing to do with the layout, but it does have something to do where I mostly keep all of my other projects and such and my smoke fluids. And right in the center here is where I keep my display case for the Lionel Century Club 2332 GG1 locomotive, along with a couple of other rare railway knickknacks, including a molded-in GG1 locomotive that was made for Lionel, which resembles the black, silver, and red variation numbered 4866. And then finally down here, I have a molded-in Santa Fe E8 locomotive that I had ever since I was a child. And lighting the display case here, I just have a single LED light, which I bought at Job Lot many years ago for just a few dollars and some change. But it does really display the GG1 very nicely without having it being too dim or too light in the display case here. All right, guys. Well, that's about all the time that we have for today's episode. So I really hope that you all have enjoyed watching. As always, my name is Mike. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell down below for any of the projects that I upload. And make sure to keep an eye out for my next history video that I'm going to be doing with Berkshire 736, along with the next but as always, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Next up on the list here, we have the Lionel ZW. Now, this is no stranger to any of the... Ozzy. This is silly. Say hi, Ozzy. Say hi, everybody. You little. Oh, should you go little? Say good boy. Let's get in your tummy rubbed. Let's get in your belly rubbed. For us? Good job.